we have, like, maybe the bestest news. If you didn't know, Kyle had brain surgery just over 2 months ago to remove a fist-sized tumor from the left frontal lobe of his brain. And last week he had his first MRI post-surgery, and yesterday we had the call with
Dr. Smith,
Kyle's neurosurgeon, went over the latest MRI, and
the scans are stable.
The scans are stable. The cavity is still empty, which is great. The edema is improving. Could be better, but it is improving. And the tumor in the cerebellum, which is inoperable, is still stable.
Yeah.
It is very exciting news. It filled us with so much hope and encouragement. Did it fill you with hope and encouragement?
Yeah, it did.
And that call also gave us some new insights into Kyle's care and what are the next steps. We're just feeling really encouraged. Main things are Kyle still has a little...
Oh, yeah.
I want to show him. Still a little sore from the surgery, and it's just really struggling to heal. So he's putting in an order for him to get this, like, stuff that they put on the scalp to help with healing. They would use it on any sort of wound, but it'll help prevent him from potentially needing to get a skin graft or something like that to help the healing. Thankfully, it's only getting smaller, but it's preventing him from being able to put the Optune device back on, which is really our only treatment plan at this point in time besides the gamma radiation tiles that are in his head.
Wait, and this hurts too. This
incision spot is really tender.
Yeah.
So he's reaching out to find a contact here in Colorado to get this specific, it's called like Stravix or something like that, to put on that spot. And once that is fully healed, then he'll be able to resume Optune, which is really the goal.
Yeah.
And the other exciting piece is that, well, unfortunately, we haven't gotten the Kara's genetic pathology report back yet. It's taking so long, but they did send Kyle's tumor off to be tested, where they take the tumor cells and they grow them, and then they give them between 12 and 20 different chemotherapy drugs and see how the tumor cells react. We had no idea that they were even doing this. This was news to us. We were like, didn't know that this was a thing. And Kyle's tumor cells positively reacted to 4 different chemotherapies, and that is really encouraging. And Dr. Chris Smith was like, I'm not a big fan of poisoning your whole body to target this one area if we don't need to. If the scans are stable, I say have that in your back pocket and know that there are 4 potential drugs that could be used in the future. So that's exciting. And we know that his tumor will react. Obviously, it's done in a petri dish, so it's different once it's actually interacting with the full body. But it is encouraging that it positively reacted to 4 different drugs. So we have that in our back pocket. And then we also asked him about the vaccine coming out of Germany that we've been looking into, and he felt encouraged by that.
Yeah.
As well. He feels really great about studies coming out of Europe and the way that they run their studies, and they tend to show more promise because of the way that their medical system works. They really want to treat people and not just continue to give them pharmaceuticals because their government is paying for most people's medical care. So they're really seeking long-term solutions. So the vaccine looks really promising and encouraging. That's something we're trying to figure out moving into this new year, of making that happen. But overall, good news.
Yes, good news.
Really good news. Kyle's scans are stable. And it's a great way to go into the holiday season. I was feeling really anxious, quite honestly, of what was going to come, because we got the MRI radiologist written report before we saw him, and it didn't sound promising. And we were like, we just want to talk to Dr. Smith because he is so good at what he does, and he's looking at brains and scans all day long, and he has incredible bedside manner, which is so rare for a surgeon, especially a neurosurgeon, and he will tell it to you how it really is. And he came on that call and was like, I feel so hopeful from seeing this scan. And I was like, but the report doesn't sound hopeful. And he's like, if we're looking at the actual images, it looks really, really great. So
He actually said, I got some good news.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, that's not what I was expecting. And so he was very clear, like, I don't love my patients reading those reports because they'll hold on to little tiny tidbits. And also they're not neurosurgeons, so, or neuro-oncologists, and so they just don't necessarily know what those radiology reports look like. But Kyle's case was actually looked at the tumor board yesterday morning before we saw him, and they all agreed, many different radiologists and oncologists and neurosurgeons, that it is stable. So he actually said, I don't know what your team in Colorado was smoking, but on our end, it's all looking good.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to take that. We're going to run with it.
Yeah.
Because we trust him. He has gotten us to this point. And I will leave with one other positive thing. Looking at Kyle's scans, he also said that he really does see that there is a lot of potential that Kyle's speech will only improve. It just is going to take a lot of practice. But he was like, from what I'm looking at the images, yes, I can tell that you can understand words, but you're having a hard time getting them out, which is crazy because it's exactly what's happening. And he can tell that by the imaging, but he can also tell that in the imaging, there is so much room for improvement, and that is really encouraging that Kyle's speech will only get better. So maybe you should start speaking in all the videos as practice. What do you say?
Okay.
So we're heading into, here in America, Thanksgiving, and we are very thankful for this and really hopeful for what is in store. Lots of love, lots of gratitude, and that hope is just keeping us moving and showing so much positive improvement. Love you. Thanks for celebrating this good news with us. We'll see you in the next one.